What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Dauntless Outdoors. Today's episode, we're diving out of St. Petersburg, Florida. The goal of today's episode is to shoot as many gag grouper as we can. We're diving anywhere from about 40 to about 70 feet, diving ledges, wrecks, all sorts of stuff. So we're gonna head out there, hopefully get a bunch of gags. It is December 29th in this episode, so catch you guys out on the water. Alrighty, y'all, just got out to the first spot. This is my first dive of the day. Headed down to the bottom. This is a ledge in about 73 to 75 feet of water. The viz isn't great, especially for that depth, but as I get down here, I spot a gag. He poked his head into the ledge. Turned out you could see him just there. Turned right around. I had a shot there for a second, but as I was rotating my gun, that's when I saw him do that. So I didn't really have the chance to take the shot, but I can kind of see him under the ledge. It's really hard to see on camera, but he's facing me. I thought he was facing sideways, which is why I took this shot. I thought he was sitting broadside to me, and if he was, it would have been a really good shot, but unfortunately, I just hardly nicked the skin on his side and lost the fish. But there's at least fish there, and I was seeing some stuff, and now we're at a new spot. It's about 65 feet or so. We are on an artificial area. It's like a wreck with culvert pipes and stuff like that inside the actual barge. So I'm headed down to the bottom. This is probably my 5th dive on the spot. I'm not seeing much. I went around the outsides on a couple drops and there just wasn't really that much happening. So I decided to go land in the middle of the wreck. It's a ton of bait, as you can tell, which makes it pretty hard to hunt. But typically there's a good bit of fish around when there's that much bait. But it's just super hard to see through all the actual fish. So I just head towards the area where I'm hearing thumping, and I spot this gag, head out from the wreck. So take a pretty far shot here and end up stoning him. As you can see, that's basically a perfect shot. I wish it was a little bit more forward, but I grab the fish to keep it away from that Goliath, keep my eye on him just to make sure he's not going to follow me up, and just head on up to the surface and get my first gag of the day. So I'm still at the same spot, and now I'm in the sand. I'm trying to shoot amberjacks, and on my way down I spot this gag right here. He's pretty big. Line up, take the shot, and completely stone him as well. He ends up being about a 17.5 pound grouper. So definitely a very nice fish and great way to start off the day. So we moved on. We are now at a different ledge. That spot we were at kind of died down and there wasn't that much going on. I already did a dive on this ledge, laid there, and didn't see that much going on. So I decided it was time to slowly move down the edge of the ledge, looking on the top of the ledge and the sand. But typically, if you're going to see fish like grouper, they're going to be sitting on the sand side and typically the down current side of a ledge. And as I get down here, there is a gag out in the sand. He slowly swims towards the ledge, take that shot there, and of course I go grab this fish before I head on up to the surface if I have the bottom time. And I really wasn't pushing it on this dive, so free up that shaft and head on up to the surface. Got my 3rd gag of the day. Pretty nice. So I'm at the same ledge, a little bit farther on the upcurrent side, and looking at these bigger pockets and holes. And typically when you're in an area like that, there's going to be more grouper. And as you can see, he was sitting right there. I just was hoping to see another one that was a little bit bigger, but he was about the only thing that was on the ledge. And it was kind of dying down this ledge. So I slowly aim up on him. Figured he was going to turn, He turns left. I was prepared to take the shot, and I know it's a very good holding shot, but typically he will swim up under the ledge and get stuck, so I decided it was time to grab this fish and head on up to the surface. So now we are at a different ledge. As you can tell, that viz is much better. This spot I think is about 67 or so feet. So I'm headed down to the bottom. There was 3 other people with us on this trip. It was me, Drake Sweet, somebody named Morgan. I'm buddy diving with her on this ledge, and then a guy named Troy. He's the owner of the boat. He has all the licensing and stuff. And as you can tell, there's no grouper or anything like that around. And I spotted this pretty nice hogfish as soon as I got down to the bottom. He clearly wasn't going anywhere, so decided I was going to take the shot on him. Get a nice shot. Obviously, he's not going anywhere. And make sure that shaft is all free. And head on up to the surface. Got my first hogfish of the day. I think I have about 4 gags now on the boat. And the day's going pretty good. So this ended up being our last spot of the day. It was getting relatively late. I think it was about 3 o'clock. And now I'm on a little bit different part of the ledge. This was a tabletop ledge, so there's ledge running on each side. It's like a 30-foot wide just chunk of rock, and there's undercut around the whole thing. And I landed on the very end of it here, and typically this is where there's going to be the most fish, just because it's an area with broken off rock and much more undercut for them to be. So I'm looking under the ledge. I can see there's 2 grouper. They're both staring at me, and typically I don't take that shot, but they weren't moving, and since they're under a ledge, if they spook, they're typically spooking a lot faster than regular just out in the sand grouper would. As you can see, there was Drake off my left. He spotted that grouper. I don't think he got a shot on it, unfortunately. Typically when you shoot, it does spook the other grouper pretty badly. So now I'm headed back down to the same spot. I unfortunately landed like pretty much in the dead middle of this tabletop, so I'm swimming more at an angle than I'd like to be, but I'm still getting down here to the bottom. And I hadn't actually looked up under the ledge with a light yet, so I decided, hey, you know, might as well check up under there, just because once you've spent a little bit of time on a ledge, there will be grouper that decide it's much safer to go under the actual ledge, and that's when you can get a shot on a pretty nice grouper. And as you saw, there was a very nice grouper up under here. I had to completely reposition myself out in the sand and turn around just to get a holding shot and an actual thumb shot with my gun on this fish. Take the shot. I knew I had a very good shot on him, but he was up under there. You could see he was pretty wedged, and it was a pretty short ledge there, so I couldn't just pull on him and take him out, unfortunately. But I go up to the surface, and he ended up just swimming out, so nice fish.
Pretty good gag on the ledge. Somebody already shot him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he on your line or no?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Alrighty, y'all. Hope you guys really enjoyed the video. We did our best to shoot a bunch of grouper, and it ended up doing pretty good. We shot about, I think it was around 15, 20 grouper. Got about 400 or 500 pounds of grouper. So definitely had a nice day. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.